Good morning, environmental science, and welcome back to the fall semester 2026. I wanted to jump on and first introduce myself since we are going to be in a fully virtual online course. My name is Dr. Kelly Varga, and I will be walking you through the next 16 weeks of environmental science. Today, I just wanted to touch base with you all, let you know who I am, and again, give you just a quick lay of the land of things that you'll be moving through, hopefully for today, maybe even parts of tomorrow as you're getting settled into the fall semester, and then really what's going to be expected for the remainder of the semester and the week to come. So with that being said, let's go ahead and first and foremost, just look at how to get into the course and some overall overview and layout. So when you registered for this course, the course has a lecture component and it has a lab component. This is the first place I want to pause. Again, I highly recommend for students to change their dashboard screen through some modifications over here. Obviously, my screen's going to look a little different than yours, but I would change it from just the assignment overview. Most students just leave it where they come in and they'll just see the assignments listed and what they have to do, and change it to the courses that you are currently taking. This helps to remind you I need to go into my course for information rather than just clicking on the assignments and completing them. This is especially helpful for my students that are taking online courses, whether it's mine or any other course that you're taking. So that's number one. The second thing is I want to show you, and again, this is a little bit interesting because I'm teaching 3 sections of online. So every time I make a video, it will be going to all 3 sections, regardless of if I'm clicking on your section or someone else's section. The information will still pertain to you. Okay, so in this case, you'll see the pictures that have sort of the hand with the earth. These would be the lecture sections. How do I know it's the lecture section, Dr. Varga? Because it's got the 00 and then the number. For lab sections, we always demark them as 037 something, okay? What I want you to notice is regardless of wherever you are in your lab section, let's just click on 0371, which would correspond to lecture section 071. What I want you to see is that there's nothing in this Canvas shell. You're going to be prompted immediately to just say, go back to the lecture section. Why, Dr. Varga? Isn't this where my labs should be? In time, what I have realized is that students, especially if we're not meeting face to face, sometimes it's challenging for them to remember that they need to go to another section, another Canvas shell, to be able to complete their assignments. So what I've done for you to make it easy as possible to make sure you get the grades you are looking for is to put both lecture and lab all under the lecture component. And I'll show you what that looks like very shortly. So again, how do I know where I'm supposed to be? You will smack dab into this on the home page. This is the landing page of every laboratory section. Additionally, if you tried to click through any of these, like if you said, oh, I want to go to modules, there's nothing there, right? Or even if I went all the way down and I looked for something like my assignments, right? There's nothing that's going to be posted. So even if you're lost, that's why I say it's really helpful. Put the overall courses, because you'll see even the background picture I have is just the words to remind you, you don't need to come here. You'll catch on to this very quickly. By the time you're in week 2 and you're doing your work, you'll remember, you'll forget all about these other sections and just go to the lecture section. So first and foremost, also, please make sure that you are clicking on the course, coming into the course on a regular basis. 1, I can see the amount of time you're spending inside of the Canvas shell on my end. That's helpful for me if you and I need to meet to discuss grades or progress in the course. 2, most importantly, it is how I will check whether or not you have come into the course and started working on the course for audit roles and for drop. So if for some reason you sign up for the course, we have had students, unfortunately, in the past who were registered or registered for a course, but they've never come into the course once. They did not even realize they were registered for this course. I can see and actually tell the registrar, nope, they've never even came into this course, and the student can be refunded for that. That's a good thing, right? We want to give you guys the money back if in fact you didn't use the course because you didn't know. But two, it's also a marker that if you are slipping in grades or you're not doing so well in those areas, I can see how many times you've come in. I can look at the amount of time, and I'm not spying on anything other than it just gives me a clock, a total amount of time that I can see how long you've been in the course. And that is actually also something we need to report to the registrar. So all that to say, I want you to come into this course because this course has everything that you will need to be successful as if we were seeing each other face to face. Because we're not, right? I have to make sure you've got all the information here for you to pass the class with the grade that you want. Okay, I think I've beat that horse. So you'll notice here there's some tabs. The first thing I want you to do for just today and even tomorrow is just become familiar with this course. Click on the Start Here button. Well, read through this opening page, right? You'll see a picture to me. You'll see how that you can get in touch with me via email. You can click on the Calendly link to see how you can schedule and set up 15-minute office hour visits with me virtually, right? And again, I have stated that if those times don't work or you're on campus, please just stop in my office or also just email me and say, Dr. Varga, those times don't work. Can I meet with you at this time? Absolutely, we can figure that out. A little bit about me, and then don't worry here because none of these have opened yet. You're going to start to see some due dates. This will open very quickly, and I will let you know when that does. Today and only today, I just want you to come in because there's a lot of information. I want you to feel comfortable with the class. First and foremost, download a copy of the syllabus. This is your guide for all things in this course. Due dates, expectations, drop dates, withdrawal dates, policies. What are my assignments? How am I going to be graded? What are the things I need to worry about? Is there late policy? Read through this. This is your guide document to this course. I will be asking you, did you read through the syllabus if you come to me with something that may seem very straightforward that probably we should be finding in the syllabus? Why do I do that rather than answering? Because again, you need to learn how to find and problem solve, especially in a course where I'm not going to be seeing you on a regular basis face to face. Next, once you read through, I would also recommend going to the student resources. This is an extremely helpful page for students who are just in any course, whether you're face to face, whether you're just in a virtual space of online, whether you're in a hybrid course. Here are tools and resources that are available to you should you need access to something, right? Sometimes we need things and we don't know where to find them. Student resources right there on the homepage for you. You don't have to go shuffling around. I want you to find those so we can get you the tools that you need to be successful. Okay, modules, eventually we'll come back into that because modules just literally takes you to the modules. But what I really want you to do is click on the Start Here button. Why? Because this is where you should be starting. This is exactly what I want you to do for today and parts of tomorrow as you're getting into the course. What you'll notice, again, on your end, is you can't move forward in any of these until you complete the prior one. Now, again, there's no assignments that are due right now. I'm sort of hand force holding you to look through each of these because there's very important information for you to navigate through to understand the expectations of the course, to understand grading policies, to understand how to study for exams, and finally, how to get ready and prepared to purchase, if you have not already done so, the McGraw-Hill Connect platform. So these things I want you to move through first. Once you move through all of these, This module 1, and again, you'll see there's nothing even, I haven't even put assignments up yet because I do not want students just to jump right in. Starting tomorrow and Wednesday, you'll start to see if you've moved through all of these above modules, you'll start to see these modules begin to open, and you'll start to see the information of, again, the activities, the assignments, the discussion boards. And I will make sure to follow up with an email that says, okay, guys, all systems go. The course is now officially open. You should be able to start moving through the material. Why is that important? Again, this stuff has really important information, especially when it comes to things like studying for the exams. What are the expectations for exams? What do I need to do if I'm in a completely online course to take an exam? Am I expected to come to campus? Do I take it virtually? All of that stuff is answered here. And I want you to get your tool belt ready to go so you have all the resources available. So with that being said, welcome to class. I just wanted to give this to you as a sort of welcome to know who I am for this semester. And always come in, check the announcements often. They're going to give you good information. This is the only way I can mass reach everybody. Change in a due date. There's been an error in the exam. Whatever it may be, right? This is the only way I can communicate with you. So if you're coming into errors or problems or concerns, come into the announcement section first and foremost to see if maybe I have not already addressed it. Once this video is posted, it will go out through the announcement section. So again, this is the only way I can massively communicate to everybody across my 3 sections what's going on. I will also have a discussion board that has just Q&A. So if you have a question and maybe somebody else in the class has figured it out, or, vice versa, I'm going to come in there and check it, at minimum twice a week just to see if there's any major concerns or if there's something cool you want to share as you're learning something about one of the different environmental factors. Maybe you want to tell us something cool that you've learned within your area. I really enjoy when students do that, and it's a nice way to sort of bring the class together in a virtual space. All right, with that, welcome to class. I'm very excited to have you all. I know this is a lot. I know this is a very long video, but I wanted to make sure to touch base with you so you can hit the ground running. And then I will make sure to touch base with you over the next couple of days this week, whether it's through announcements or through another video so that we can make sure we're on the right track. If at any point you are unsure of where to go, or I'm not quite, do I need this? Do I need that? If you just want to talk to me face to face as far as virtual, click on that Calendly link, click through the syllabus, or again, even if you're on campus, come find me and we can definitely come up with a solution. The sooner you come to me, the better chance I have for putting you on the right path for success. All right, have a great rest of your day. And again, welcome back.